Is the Jordan shoe era coming to an end? Let's talk about it.
I want y'all to hear me real well. Very, very, very well at that. All right. Last year and this year, Jordan sales are down 80%, right? 80%. Can anybody in the comments tell me the reason? Everything must end, bro. Everything must end.
Now, I think there are a couple of reasons why Jordans are not selling the way that they used to. Studies have shown that I think it was a 16% decline. Now, it's still in the billions. Jordan's still getting that paper. I should say Nike's still getting that paper. I think it was 16%. It was like 1.3 million or something like that, which is that's a pretty substantial amount of money. I know Jordan is a billionaire, and Nike's a $1 billion company, but $1 million is still $1 million. The first reason I want to get into is the competition. There's been a look like New Balance. The first thing I was gonna say was New Balance. Shoes like New Balances, Asics, Adidas, Reebok. There's been a lot of other companies that have come along the way that's had like periods of time where people are buying their shoes. Like 10 years ago, you couldn't catch me in no New Balances or no Asics. But now, they're coming out with different colorways, and trends are always changing. So people are starting to buy different types of shoes. It's not just Jordan. It's not just Nikes. Shoes like Hoka's, Tim's aren't going nowhere. So it's just been different type of shoes that people are just getting into. The crazy thing is, man, I've been trying to buy some New Balances for the Lopski. I can't even find none. I can't even find I don't know if they call the 720s. I can't even find the ones that I like. I can't even find them on a good sale. I go on StockX, they like 180. I'm like, whoa, hold up. When did New Balance become 180? But anyways, man, competition is just getting real steep. The second reason I want to get into is I think it's starting to become a generational thing. When I was growing up, I wanted pairs of Jordans. Jordans was the cool shoe to wear. Then again, I was born in the late 90s, so I didn't really get to see Jordan. I was born while he was playing, but I didn't really get to see him. But the thing is, my parents got to see him. So Jordan was a big figure to them when they was growing up. The fact that I grew up and I want Jordans, maybe they, giving me the things that they couldn't get when they was kids. So it's important to them. When I say I want some Jordans, they was able to buy me Jordans because it meant a lot to them when they was kids. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like the connection between generations was the key thing that was keeping people buying Jordans, because my parents grew up on Jordan. So when I start having kids, I didn't grow up on Michael Jordan. So if that's not the hot shoe that my kids want, then that's not what I'm going to buy. I didn't see Jordan play, so he's not as important to me as he was to like my parents. I think that's another big reason for the drop off. Another reason is the releases aren't as rare as they used to be. It seemed like when Jordans was coming out when I was in school, you might get a release every 4 years. I wanted Concords real bad, and they had like a 4-year gap between dropping the Concords. Seems like now it's like these Jordans come out every year. These retro Jordans, because it's got to be the retros. We only rocking with the 1 through 14. 15, 16 get a little dicey, but the 1 through 14s, that's the one that we was really on. They not coming out as rare as they used to. So it's like people ain't really excited to get them because they're like, they're probably gonna be out next year. I ain't even sweating it for real. Too much saturation of the market is what's gonna make a shoe not sell as much. And let's talk about this. The price of Jordans is not going down, which I wouldn't expect for it to go down. But I'm like, when you got a whole bunch of other competition out there and you not no cheaper and you not as popular, people gonna go with the other stuff. You're not gonna be racing to pay yo 200 and something and you not the hottest shoe on the market when this other shoe 150 and they just as hot or hotter than you. And the resale market sucks. People was able to flip Jordans like no other. You couldn't flip a shoe more than you could flip a Jordan, man. You could make a $50 to $100 profit, maybe even more, if you was a reseller. You ain't standing in the line for nothing. You ain't getting up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, stand at the Jordan line to get these Jordans to resell them and make you a bag. People are lowballing. Nobody's paying top dollar for Jordans no more, especially my generation. Now, like I said before, other generations might pay top dollar. Like the generation above me might pay, or if you really, really, really really love Jordans, you might pay that top dollar. I'm not, and I loved Jordans when I was in high school. If you asked me 10 years ago, would I pay $400 for some Jordans, I would have said yes. But now, today, no, not happening. $250 max, unless something I really wanted. But now at this point in my life, I pretty much got like all the Jordans that I would have wanted. But man, in high school, bro, if you ain't had no pair of Jordans, you was not one of the cool kids. That's literally what separated you from being cool and not cool, is your shoe game. It's crazy to think now, because I don't even care about shoes like that no more. I'm some slip-on loafer boots type of dude now. But it's crazy to think how crazy I was back then about shoes. I used to watch the sneaker collection videos, the sneaker resale videos, the shoe collection, all that. I used to watch all that stuff, and I was so into shoes back then. And a lot of those shoes was like retro Jordans, customs, limited edition, player edition shoes, like Jordans and stuff like that. Unless they do something different, maybe like make the prices cheaper or stop dropping as often, the Jordan shoe era is gonna come to it. I think it's gonna go like this. I think it's gonna continue to go like this. Now, I don't want to speak bad about a company, but if they don't do anything different, it's like the life cycle is gonna change as far as us getting older and buying Jordans. If they don't do anything different, I think it's going to continue to decline. The market is just not for it. The time that we live in is not for it. Stuff is too expensive. People don't even have the money anyways. Back then, you would try to get the money. You would save all your bread just so you could get them shoes for Christmas or your birthday. But now, you're not gonna bend and break like you used to. All in all, I think Nike and Jordan is still gonna be straight. I don't think it's gonna get to as big as it was. Either it's gonna stay stagnant or decline more. I think that's all I have for this video, man. I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel again. While you watch my videos and you're not subscribed, bro, it's literally free. You watching me anyways, it take 2 seconds to hit that sub button. Just show your boy some love, bro. I ain't asking for no money, bro. I ain't asking for no money. I ain't ask you to buy no course or none of that. I'm just asking you to do one little thing, hit one little red button or white button, whatever the button look like. And just show your boy some love. But it's your boy Kels with 3 Z's, because they still sleeping on me. And I'm going to see y'all in the next lit video.